Sir, who can replace man and
So I'll say, okay, good morning once again. Title is Who Can Replace a Man? We are going to discuss whether a man can be replaced by scientific invention, that means robot kinds of a thing, or not. You can guess from this. This is a story. All the texts described in your levels, they are stories. That means, let's see. Setting. It takes place over many weeks. Time duration is many weeks. And in the story, you can see sudden transition. It means changing from one situation to another. There will be drastic change over time. And real field is agricultural reserve or agricultural field. And it is suburban area, suburb, that means. And another part is big cities also. It means there are two settings, two places mentioned in this story. One event, it takes place in village area, farming place, that means, and main controlling part is in city area. And there are somehow matters of roads as well as mountains. You can see this thing, okay? And that was physical setting, and it is somehow related to our current society also. So direct meaning, direct participant characters are robots and few human beings. Their so-called present civilization, and the main theme, main meaning the writer wants to convey is how our society or societies are in conflict, or it shows unhealthy competition of our society in the name of scientific invention. Are you writing anything? So many messages are there. It is blinking. Maybe Urmila, you have your own problem, right? You have net problem, or you are not compatible with the feature of Zoom. There can be something else. Please try. I will accept your request. Okay. See, other thing. I'm talking about setting. It allows for author to be obvious in the ways he describe it, because all characters are robot. As I said earlier, not all characters, but most of them are robot. They are conversing, they are talking to each other, and they can work, they can operate themselves. One, right? This is the main setting. As I said earlier also, you can go through this yourself. Main thing, the story takes place in a farmhouse, somehow far from the city, and four men are only robots there, no human being. But they are operated by the instruction of human being from the city. Human being from city area, they instruct these human being, sorry, this robot, and they work. So the masses of radioactive rays, that means, did you get picture? Only robots are there in the farmhouse, and they work getting the instruction of human being via radio signal, that means. So as I said earlier also, main crux theme the story wants to convey, tries to convey is, without empathy and compassion, daya, maya, karuna, without this, a society won't be able to sustain itself and thrive. Human beings are human beings because of their empathy and compassion, right? So otherwise, we would be rather a robot, not a human being, rather a machine, not a human being. That is the thing the story writer wants to convey. So look at here, very short synopsis here. In Who Can Replace a Man, Brian Aldiss describes a futuristic world in which machines are capable of thinking based on the task they have been designed to perform. It means robots, they work, with the help of chips, instruction, programs they are endowed with. But what happens one day, machines realize that the few remaining humans have died, leaving the machine to fend for themselves. It means human beings started fighting when they got machine, nuclear power. And because of this, because of huge devastation, they destroyed themselves. And no human being sustained. They got this idea. They got this message, that means. And what happened then? Robots started to rule themselves. They thought they could rule themselves. They could be everything for themselves. It means they started a robotic democracy here. So although the human in the society have potentially gone extinct because of their own shortcoming, it is questionable whether the machine will be able to survive without the ability to express human-like emotion such as empathy and compassion. Right? There is a question, for example. Still, scientists are asking these questions. They say one day robots and this type of invention or intelligence, machine intelligence, that will replace human being. There is a threat from machine, they say, they claim. But if they develop themselves, if we develop such type of intelligent machine, robots, is there any threat or not? One question is that. Next one is, if we develop such machine, will they destroy us or not? There is another question. And lastly, if robot, if they will have to live themselves, and will they be endowed with, or will they possess empathy and compassion or not? You know that Sophia, right? She showed some sort of human emotion, human sentiments also. She showed that. It means she could show such type of attributes. So there is a threat we can imagine because of such type of explosion of invention in scientific area. Human being one day could have to face, right, this thing. Your character, field minor, all characters are robot except few human being, but their names are not mentioned. But here are some machine. These are robotic machine, automatic machine. You can say field minor. One, it has class 3 brain. There is a category of brain. Uh, Class 1 is the highest one, and there are altogether class 10 up to 10. So mostly up to 5 to 6 class brains are here. Field minor having class 3 brain. Pen, propeller number 2, you can see penner. His name is penner. It has class 3 brain. Radio operator, it has class 2 brain. Wisest among all, right, in this farm area. Remember this, radio operator. It receives a signal and instruct this machine, other all machine in this farm. So the wisest machine in this farmhouse. Quarrier is a big machine having around 8 to 12 wheels. It has class 5 brain. It is not so much intelligent. Seed distributor, it provides seeds to other machine, especially field miner. It has class 5 brain. Number 6 character, onlooker, sacho kholni. It has class 6 brain. It's not so much wise also. Tractor, it has class 4 brain. Bulldozer, class 4. The servicer, I didn't find its class there. So there are other also, mainly there are 9 characters, but mostly field miner. Field miner generally dig. It digs the field, right? It trims the land. Very large and mobile also. It can almost all of them can move from one place to another place. They have such ability, except radio operator. It's like just like a radio tower which receives signal from city and instruct the machine in this farmhouse. So pen propeller, right? It has class 3 brain, as I talked. It's also main character. Radio operator is the leader among all. And quarrier also is strongest machine. These are some main characters mentioned in this story. If you have any confusion regarding the character, right? These are all rovers, and there is no human being. You will appear at the end of the story. That's why remember that right now the story begins from the field miner. Okay, let me see the plot summary here. I have prepared this for your easiness. Whole sketch of the story is here. The robotic machines are in agricultural farm which operate by instruction of city's information center. Right? These all machine. They work when they get a type of instruction from city's information center or city's radio operator. It is believed that that machine has class 1 brain, the most powerful brain or intelligence, you can say. So human being in the city, through that city's information center, provide information or instruct this machine in this farmhouse, and they work. It is hard that because of war in the city, all human beings are killed and the machine in the farm do not get any instruction, right? This particular day, that miner was working in the field. He came to collect seed from the seed provider. That is, seed provider is also a machine, and asked for seeds. But that seed provider said, unlocker, you go, you know, lock means sacho. That unlocker machine, it hadn't unlocked the warehouse, storeroom, that means. And then all the machine gradually realized that there are no human beings in the city. They were killed in war. They fought each other and they finished themselves. They realized this. Please don't scramble on the slide. Then what happened? They realized that there are no human beings. They were killed, or they killed themselves in the war. So even the penner said the radio operator hasn't sent any instruction. He climbed on the wall and tried to get the signal from that operator, radio operator, and he could not find any signal, any instruction. So penner climbed up and internet with the radio operator and interact with the radio operator. It says people in the city were killed because of war and starvation. Then the local radio operator wills to get out of the room. Then now when they came to know about the uh, demise of death of human being in the city where superior creature than is imagination. Okay, then this made counter plan. Their counter plan is that they wanted to occupy city, they wanted to occupy whole country, and wanted to rule themselves. So the most intelligent machine was radio operator. Don't be confused the character. Okay, radio operator. So it expresses will to get out of the room where it was kept. And for this endeavor, the quarrier is like a dozer. Remember this, the quarrier is like dozer, helps him to get out. And they collapsed the wall, fence around the farmhouse, and they began to run. There was locker. Locker भनेको साँचो लाउने. So its function was to lock these all machine, but collapsing the wall, all the machine began to run away. So locker followed to lock them all. It was machine, but unfortunately another machine, dozer like machine, the quarrier smashed it. Like chepto बनाइदियो उसले, किस्दियो quarrierले. That means on the way they began to move towards city. On the way the servicer's work is servicing गर्ने, machine को servicing गर्ने. He is a mechanic. The servicer also crashes. They left it because machine has no sympathy. बिग्रियो छोड्दियो यसलाई, चलो भनेर गयो उनीहरू. The servicer crashed. Similarly, what happened next? Because of the courier's strike, the penner also get smashed. हिन्दी गरेको बेलामा पेनर भन्ने मेसिनलाई यसले चाहिँ एक चिज एउटाबाट चेपेर बोकेर अन्त लान सक्ने क्यापेसिटी भएको पेनर इज अ मेसिन रोबोट. यसलाई कोरियर भन्ने डोजर टाइप अफ मेसिनले के गर्यो, स्ट्राइक गर्दै हिर्काइदियो, ठोकिएछ हिँड्दाखेरि, इट अल्सो क्रास. And he also had the same fate. Nobody rescued, nobody helped it because they didn't have sympathy. So they proceeded ahead, leaving all the machine. Finally, on the 6th day, they reached at the dell. Dell means small, a valley, plateau-like valley. They reached there. Radio operator, miner, tractor, bulldozer, quarrier. They reached. Other, for example, the servicer and the penner, they crashed on the way. They were left. They were abandoned. That means. So they gather at a place and switch off their infrared, means their signaling body. They began to rest. They were very hot also because they made long way from village to the city. But at the same time, from a cave, because that valley, it was nearby the big hill, there was a cave, and from the cave, a weak, naked, and starved man came out. There's a grammar mistake, sentence mistake, I'll correct it later. Came out, and the big machine ran toward him because machines were follower of human being. They were designed, programmed by human being. That means they were protesting against human being. They made counter plan against human being. They wanted to control whole city and wanted to rule for themselves. But when a man who was very weak, naked also, without dress, that means, and very hungry, starved, he came out of the cave, but suddenly they started to follow human being. See the situation. Although that person was helpless, lonely, old, starved, rejected, he was making water. He was taking water from the stream. And instantly, as he was hungry, and the place where they reached was this very, very much infertile. There was nothing. But the man said, commanded, get me food. And all the machine says, yes, master. It shows that what? Machines are responsible toward human being. They obey human being. Without that, without knowledge of human being, they cannot work. It means. The last line says the machine which were supposed to make their own world declined finally when they met the man. So they are slave, they are not masters till now, but they can be. There is a threat. But this story says that at present situation, when we observe the machine intelligence, robots cannot replace human being, human intelligence. This is the plot summary. Everything is there. Again, if you want to be shorter, here is one short summary. But I won't talk about this at home. You just pause this, screenshot this, or you will have that my slides also. You can go through that. Let's analyze. Again, I was analyzing earlier also, along with interpretation. Let's see. What does this mean here? In this slide, who can replace a man? As I said earlier also, this is an essay topic. You have to give logic. Why or how can machine replace human being, or how can't machine replace human being? There can be two sides, for and against, you can see. So let's talk, let's analyze. So who can replace a man? The reader is introduced to Earth in future. Always science fiction predict about future, you know that. So it could be the situation in near future that robot and robots kind of thing would replace human being. And in this world, we know that machine can talk and machine can think themselves. As I talk about Sophia also, there are so many robots. Even robots has got citizenship in one of the Arabian country, right? So Earth has been ravaged by human-created wars and terrible environmental disaster. That is another thing mentioned in this story. Through the robot also, this writer wants to convey one message. That is, humans are insensitive toward the devastation, disaster in this Earth. See the message? I'll read out one line there later. So one day the human who give order to the machines are gone, leaving the machine to fend for themselves. But for those machines which high class brain analyzing their new condition and trying to solve their predicament is not beyond them. When the penner says, we have only ourselves to look after, right? This could be the condition. Only robots, they need to look after themselves. If we keep on showing this type of attitude or fighting with each other and destroying the environment, that means this is the thing, one thing that a writer wants to convey through a robot. And again, stressing the similar kind of thing. The writer goes on, look at here, as the story progresses, it becomes evident that even these higher thinking machines are missing important characteristics that would hinder their ability to create their own society. To be a society, what is necessary? We need to know that, right? Society needs to have empathy and compassion, or they need to have humanity. Without humanity, we cannot imagine society. And from another angle, you can interpret this story as the machine lacks caring for other or others' idea and focuses on the literal rule. They can obey, they can follow others' order, instruction, but you can see the example. They left their fellow on the way. They did not mend them, did not support them. And what they were lacking was compassion, empathy. So that is another angle. Let's see another perspective also, right? The same thinking continues that the machine think about their future. If we keep on thinking from the same angle, right? What is our thinking right now? We are thinking like machine. How do we think? Look at here. All who oppose us will be destroyed. One character said, this is Penner. And even Penner, he had pathetic condition on the way. When his gyro did not work, it means one axle did not work. He was left, he was abandoned on the way. Right now, human beings are thinking like this. All who oppose will be destroyed. So this thinking of human being, according to writer, will create devastating, disastrous situation in the earth, in near future. That is another interpretation. Let's go on. And the most important thing, as I said, humanity earlier also. Not only humanity, friendship, brotherhood is similar to that, right? Is necessary. That means at first the servicer, that mechanics machine destroyed, nobody helped, nobody rescued that. If they had rescued that machine servicer, later when the penner was crashed, it would get help from that mechanic. But they did not realize that mechanic would be helpful for them. That mechanic, that servicer would be helpful for them. That's why Penner had one unimaginable condition. That is, he was also finally neglected. He was abandoned. So he said, therefore I shall lie here and rust. What happened? The machine, when machine crashes on the way, it will lie there and it will turn into rust because it's made up of iron. So single brain, look at it. He also added and cries, although I have a class 3 brain, our single brain, our intelligence, so-called intelligence doesn't work. We are not wise enough, right? Because even though we are stronger, even though we are powerful, we are not as powerful as the creator itself, the God itself, let's say. God is symbolic here. So we need to help others. Anybody can be helpful for us in this earth. They are human beings. One day we can take help from them. So we need to develop a sense of brotherhood also. Not only that, is also somehow empathy and compassion, but here comradeship. This is a type of friendliness, brotherhood should be developed. We need to help each other and they will in return help us later. That is another message the writer wants to convey. Where we are, or I'm at the end, almost end. Don't feel boring. Okay. So the next one, next idea the writer wants to convey is that whose fault is that? Since we are losing our emotion, or machine doesn't have emotion, whose fault is this? Human beings are forgetting this attribute Whose fault is that? So this is somehow our worldly nature. We are being far more infatuated toward scientific invention and possession of the thing. That's why gradually even human beings are living this attribute, this attitude. This means, so if they want to be known as human being, if they have emotion, then they control society in positive way. They can drive, not control, let's say, right? Only positive minded people, only helpful people, only people having sympathy and compassion can lead the society into positive way. So lastly, right, according to the writer, you can say humans and even machine, they are interrelated. The final thought of the writer is that machine, even though it would have or it has intelligence, cannot rule the world. Human beings are used to, so is the machine. It means machines are designed and programmed by human being. As you are programmer, right? You are in this field, you know that machine works on the basis of design program. It cannot design program itself till up to now. That's why the story writer concludes that they are good slave and we need to operate them in the same manner. Whenever one very weak man, dejected man, starved man came and ordered the machine, get me some food, all of them in a single voice said, yes, master. That means machine, they follow the command of human being. That's why they are also used to and human beings are also used to. But finally, humans are more intelligent machine than machine. And we need to use those machine accordingly, right? That is the thing. Let me conclude. I'll just read out. I have explained, I have talked lots of things. So in this story, humans have damaged Earth. But unlike machine, they also have the ability to grow and change if they try. There are two messages. One is because of many endeavor, that is war. That is because of invention of many things, we are destroying our earth ourselves. But we have intelligence. We have self-control intelligence, unlike machine. That's why we have power to regrow this. We need to know how to use machine. This means we should not use machine and our invention for the destruction of earth. That is the message, right? And the machine may do all the work, but they have no feeling for each other and can't repair themselves without human intervention. That means we are being, another message is we are being rather a machine. Don't be like a machine, because machine cannot work itself and it needs human being. Human being here can be symbol of wise person. We are in the name of scientific invention being somehow rude, inhuman. That means don't treat like that. That means there's a question, could they create their own machine society without this skill, right? Those society which will be robotic or robot like human being, there is no space for progress. That means, and will human being learn from the mistakes of their violent past? We must learn something. We need to develop, we need to retain, we need to promote our feeling, sentiment, empathy, compassion to be a human. Don't be like a machine. If we want to be like a machine, then there is no need of what? Society. Society is made up of human, and it won't continue also. We will destroy ourselves like machine. Human being will destroy themselves because they will lack. For example, now you can see people chopping the head of another man, another people. You can see in love affair also, right? And in their rivalry also, right? They fight. We can fight. We can have some misunderstanding, but killing like a beast, killing like a machine is not solution. This means so that really left the questions whether either machine or human will be able to survive in this inhospitable world created by human hands and kept going by machine, right? There's a question. You need to guess. We are right now in inhospitable world, and it is because of human invention. Not only machine, we are ourselves being like machine. With machines like character, will not continue our world, will not continue our humanity. We are good society or good nation, or if you want to promote brotherhood, humanity, we need to treat like human. So we need to protect the earth, and we need to use our machine in particular place for the benefit of human being. This is the summary. I would like to say thank you. If you have any question, please let me know, or you can comment there on the YouTube also. I'll answer you, right, if you're free.